And recording. So, about a day or two ago, I was reminded of a band that I really, really liked back when I was working in a warehouse gig I had. There was a Pandora station that I set up on my phone, and I don't remember what it was based around, but a band by the name of Katatonia came up a couple of times. There was some songs I really enjoyed. In the White and My Twin specifically. I remember those songs, and I don't know why I never like checked out the rest of their discography, but they definitely like fit into like the motif and themes of songs that I like and bands that I like, where there was like this inherent sadness to like the vocals and the instrumentation, but at the same time the instrumentation was like really cool, and just really proficient. It kind of had like a prog sound to them, but it was also kind of like a doom quality as well. So turns out they released a new album this year, and I want to check them out. So this is the first song off the new album called City Burials. A song is called Heart Set to Divide. And again, the band is called Katatonia. I haven't heard them in at least like a year, and I'm all about it. Let's see what this new song sounds like. And new, it's from April, so it's like 6 months ago. Go!
In times of surrender, I am shedding my scars. I was sick, but I was set for the stars. The robe wasn't mine, but I wore it still. In the sunset of age, on the weight of my limbs, and closed was the door to my past perception, and my disposition had then been changed. I opened my mind to all the love forsaken. You saw my white flag, you saw our shadows merge.
I'm going to pause it there and backtrack a little bit. His voice is so haunting. He's such a good singer. And obviously there was some layering that was happening. So like it was his voice like over his voice over his voice. But I think I remember what the station I had on Pandora was. It was an Opeth station because I thought of that right now because this was giving me kind of like Opeth vibes, which makes sense. The drumming is fantastic. The patterns that are happening right now, it's just like he's like maximizing his kit. There's a lot of tom work, a lot of kick work, not as much of the cymbals, but it's not necessary just yet. If this is the first song to the album, it's a nice kind of like ramping up of the sounds. Like it's obviously the voice first, and then it just kind of builds and builds really slowly with the volume going up on the instrumentation, like little by little by little, until it hits you with that kind of like a big, big, big sound that it had. And this is just sounding so great. His voice is haunting. Let me back up a little bit. Go.
Fixed on the horizon.
That bass too.
Because it seemed I let the words lapse and return to a dream, then glide into the night. All my memories unbroken. I let the raptors circle me to become their own prey. I see the beast laying waste. I see his wings keep unfolding. His name strewn across the sky and reflected on the world. This is my elegy for love, the covenant. Gold for our blood. Came to stay in exile. Transmigration at a halt. I couldn't cross. I had no choice but to make peace. Reach higher ground. Every breath now without a sound. Every breath now without a sound. I see the beast laying waste. I see his wings keep unfolding. His name strewn across the sky and reflected on the world. This is my elegy for love, the covenant. Gold for our blood.
Oof. That was so good. That was so good. It's cool because his voice takes up such a big real estate in the sound. And I can imagine like this guy singing like a pop or R&B, like the quality of his voice, the tone of his voice is so good. And like you can easily switch up the instrumentation and use that same vocal track and it would sound just as good over like a just a standard 4/4 like pop beat or something. That's how good of a singer. That's how good he sounds. Ooh. But it actually sounds so good with the backing band. it does have a lot of an Opeth quality to it, mainly with like the keys, and then there's like some turnarounds that are happening in the riffage. But there's a such a steady groove, such a steady groove, especially with that bass and drum combo, the whole rhythm section. Ooh. I'm kind of at a loss for words right now just because I forgot how much I love this band. And it's putting me into like a kind of a little bit of a trance and like a really good headspace. But it definitely has that kind of dour kind of sound to it just based off the backing orchestration, the orchestral pieces coming from the keyboard, and there's a driving pulse coming from the drum kit, the kicks, the double bass, at especially the last minute or so of it. It's just kind of driving the song forward, and there's not a lot of energy in the singing. It seems all kind of one note, but that's where the music itself, the instruments actually create the movement in the song that the singer's not doing. So, yeah, for like an opening track, like an intro to this new album, it's just giving you that little bit, that little salvo, that little opening salvo to say, hey, this is kind of what we're capable of doing. We're not going to show you everything, but be prepared because the next couple of songs we're going to go a little crazy. This is more a little bit on the safer side and not too experimental, not too over the top, but it definitely has like little pieces here where you can pick out and say like, oh, I know that drummer's going to go crazy on one of the next songs, or this guitarist, he didn't do necessarily like an elaborate solo or anything, but you can tell he has like the cred, like he's going to shred at some point or something. Yeah, so this is kind of like a little taste. And I'm gonna revisit this actual album like sometime soon, because I don't know how I forgot about this band, but oh I think it's if I hear like another two songs or so, like I can easily put it within like my top 10, because this is the kind of sound that I really, really like really sort of down tempo in the sense of how the vocals were, but like it has that sort of low quality to it, like it's softer and darker, and the instrumentation is just so proficient, so good. Like the playing is so good and the rhythm is good. So yeah. I'm getting a little repetitive just because this kind of like hit me with a little bit of not nostalgia because it hasn't been that long, but now I'm remembering the songs I've heard from them and how many times I've heard them and how much I enjoyed them. So like I'm starting to get back into that headspace where I'm just like, yeah, this is good. I want more. So I'm going to listen to more.